Today, we're going to talk about how to be an amazing buyer's agent. Now, in real estate, obviously, there's a couple of different ways that you can do real estate. Listing agent, buyer's agent, or kind of a combination of both. Then there's also property management, commercial, and all these other aspects that we're not going to really touch on for the purposes of today. But what I really want to talk about is working from the buyer's side of the transaction. So we're going to present here. Slideshow present. Okay. So we're going to start by asking the question, how do you become amazing working as a buyer's real estate agent? And there's 5 basic things we're going to look at. Why do buyers need a real estate agent? Understanding the order of why, where, when, and how. Qualifying a buyer, and then some of those loyalty development concepts. Having an effective strategy to get your buyer broker agreement signed, and then selling your values. So these are the main things that we're really going to focus on as we talk about what it means to really be a truly amazing buyer's agent. So how do you prepare to win when you're working with the buyers? Now, in order to be an amazing buyer's agent, Zillow did a study, and they found that the average agent that works internet leads has a conversion rate of about 2 to 3%, and a great agent converts at 5 to 6%. So when it comes to working with buyers, a lot of the buyers that we're going to get are going to come from the internet. You know, they're going to be people from social media. They're going to be, maybe we're buying leads from Zillow or Realtor.com or some of the others. But what we're going to talk about is using some of these strategies that will allow you to convert at 10% or more. So when I was buying leads from Zillow and buying leads from Realtor.com, I had about a 5 to 10% conversion rate. My Zillow leads were probably about 4 to 5%, and Realtor.com, I was closing about 10%. Now, keep in mind, I had systems, I had CRMs, I had drip campaigns, I had autoresponders, I had all these things that I needed to have in order to really be effective at landing these leads. And even so, I could never really get above a 10% conversion rate. Now, we have some tools, obviously, that are going to help you convert at a higher level, but understand that when it comes to working internet leads and working with buyers, a lot of times it really becomes a numbers game. Now, you flip that to the listing side, and I converted about 89% of all of the listing appointments that I went on. So you're going to have much bigger success focusing on the listing side of real estate, but there's always an opportunity to be able to work with buyers to get deals done. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, why do some real estate professionals do extremely well while others do really poorly when everybody's given the same opportunities and the same quality of leads? And I'm going to answer this question for you here in a couple of minutes, but I want you to really think about that. What is it that causes certain agents to do extremely well and other agents to struggle immensely when we all have the same opportunities and we all have the same quality of leads? Why do real estate professionals believe that buyers are going to automatically choose me just because I passed my real estate exam, I went and sat for the state license, I got my license, and I have access to an MLS and I can open a door? Is that really all it takes to be an amazing buyer's agent? Of course not. But a lot of agents have this idea that I've got my real estate license, I've got access to the MLS, I've got my super key. That's all I need, right? Like, my phone should be ringing off the hook. Everybody's going to want to talk to me because I've met those basic criteria. And that's just not it. In Florida, we have the highest number of real estate agents per capita of any state in the country. So 1 out of every 107 adults in the state of Florida in 2000, it was either 18 or 19, has their real estate license. 1 out of every 107 adults has their real estate license. So think about that with the number of agents or the number of people we have in the state of Florida. Let's call it 10 million. That means we have well over 100, well, let's see, 8 million, I don't know, my brain's not working, but 1 out of every 107 adults. Now that total population includes people under the age of 18 that are not allowed to have a real estate license. So we're talking about an extremely high number of people that have their real estate license. So that's some competition, right? So it's not just enough to say, I have my real estate license, I have access to the MLS, people are automatically going to choose me. It doesn't work that way. There is more competition than ever in real estate. So that means you wanting to work with buyers have to go above and beyond. First of all, and any of you guys who have been in my classes before know what I'm about to say next. There's 3 things that somebody has to do in order to want to work with you. They have to know you, like you, and trust you. Well, they have to know you. They have to know that you're in real estate, because 1 out of every 107 adults in the state of Florida have a real estate license. So even though they know you have a real estate license, that's not enough. They have to like you. Okay, well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But even if they do, they still now have to trust you. That's really where you're going to set yourself apart, is establishing that trust with them. And we're going to talk about this as we go through the rest of this class. But a lot of agents have this very naive idea that it's enough to simply have a real estate license and to just be as busy as I could possibly be. Guys, it doesn't work that way. Now, why do real estate professionals believe that all they have to do is get basic search criteria, find the MLS or search the MLS, find the properties, email them to the customer, and then open the door? Is that all it takes to be a great buyer's agent? Guys, they don't need you for that. They've got Zillow, they've got Realtor.com, they've got Homes.com, they have KW.com, they have FloridaLuxury.com, they have Remax.com, they have 57 bajillion different sources that they can use to go search criteria. And every single one of them will allow them to put in 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage, whatever in a geographic location. They don't need you for that. Zillow is working extremely hard to make sure they don't need you for that. But yet a lot of agents believe that's all they have to do. So guys, if this is your mindset, you're completely missing the point. Because this is never going to be enough for you to go out and be a successful buyer's agent. It just isn't. And I hear a lot of balloons being bursted out there, like I'm just this terrible guy that's going out and taking candy away from you. But I promise you, if you keep listening, I'm going to give you the but. This is not enough, but. So hang on, we're going to get there. So let's go back to the original question. Why do some professionals do well while others do poorly if they have the same opportunities and the same quality of leads? Well, the short answer is because few agents apply themselves to learning and putting into action those effective skills and strategies that develop themselves as being great at connecting and converting those leads. People don't want to put in the work. Right now, we have a generation of young people who are what we call the me generation. They want instant gratification. They want it handed to them. They don't want to have to work for it. And everybody wins. It's the participation trophy generation. And if you're a part of that generation, I'm not knocking on you. But understand that this is what you're up against. Real estate doesn't work that way. There is no shortcut. There is no, you just roll out of bed one day and just find out that you are exceptionally good at selling real estate. Now, maybe you do. But by and large, it takes work. You've got to practice going through the contracts. You've got to practice going through your scripts. You've got to practice interacting with people. You've got to take the personality class that I did last week and understand the personality types of the person that you're talking to. It takes work. It takes skill. These are what you need to invest in order to be a great buyer's agent. Because it's not enough to just have a license. It's not enough to just buy the leads from Zillow. Guys, I was spending $1,000 a month with Zillow. Not enough to just buy the leads if you're not going to follow through with them. So understand that we all have the same opportunities. We have the same pool of buyers out there that are wanting to purchase homes, that are ready, willing, and able to purchase homes today. So what sets you apart from the other 106 agents? What sets you apart? This is what we have to talk about. So why do so few real estate professionals put forth the effort and the time to learn, practice, and perfect the skills? Guys, it's hard. The short answer is it's not easy. It takes time, takes energy, it takes effort. And people right now don't want to exert energy or effort. You have a limited amount of time in a given day. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but how do you use it? Do you use it perfecting your craft? Do you use it playing on TikTok? Do you use it scrolling through Facebook or Instagram? Do you use it watching cat videos? How do you spend your day? Because the agents that are being very successful are the ones who are investing that energy, that time, and that effort into perfecting their craft. Now, when I was selling real estate, I always said that I was a student of real estate. Meaning I read everything I could get my hands on that pertained to my craft. I wanted to know what the market was doing. What did the trends look like? What are the new mortgage programs that are coming out? What new developments are coming in? What builders are coming into the area? What can I know to set myself apart? And in a lot of cases, that is how I got the listing or got the buyer to be loyal to me, because I became a student of real estate. So I would encourage you, be the professional. It says, why do so many real estate professionals? You guys have been in the business for a minute. You're going to realize that not everybody that has a real estate license is a professional. It's a really sad thing, but I talk to you guys every day. And every single day, some agent calls me and says, I need to just kind of vent about what's going on with this agent on the other side of the deal. Every day. Be better. Change the industry standard. Because at the end of the day, that is the only way that things get better. Invest the time, invest the energy to really learn and ask the right questions. Real estate agents that seek success must. Now, did I say can? Did I say should? Did I say could? Real estate professionals that are seeking success must learn and practice the skills of providing their unique value proposition to lead opportunities. Now, some of you are going, what the heck is a unique value proposition? And it's a good question. A unique value proposition is what it is that you do that sets you apart. What is it that makes you different? Do you know the answer to that question? Most people don't. Most people have no idea what it is that sets them apart from their competition. And if you don't know, your customer never will. And if your customer can't tell you apart from the masses, then what reason do they have to choose you? Establish your unique value proposition today. You have to understand what it is that your unique value proposition that serves your leads and how you present it. So, sorry. We have to clearly understand why buyers need real estate professionals. And part of this becomes your unique value proposition. But we're going to talk about how you spin it or how you put it in such a way that you convey that. Again, Zillow did a study and they asked home buyers, what is it that your realtor provided that you appreciated most in helping you find the home that you ultimately purchased? And 73% of those buyers polled answered with the same thing: local knowledge. All right, so let's say for a second that I'm an agent who works every property from Citrus County to Sarasota, Spring Hill, Brooksville, Newport Richey, Wesley Chapel, Tampa, Plant City, Sarasota, Naples. Is it possible that I have local knowledge on a 150-mile span? Guys, it's not possible. So in real estate, here's something that sounds totally contradictory, but is 100% the truth. The agents who are the most successful are the ones who have a certain area that they know extremely well and that they work almost exclusively. So think about that for a second. In sales, whenever somebody asks you, who is your potential client? The response is usually the same: a person who is looking to buy my offering. In real estate, we look at it a little bit differently. My ideal customer is somebody who is looking to buy or sell real estate. Okay. But I've got somebody who wants to buy or sell real estate in Daytona Beach. Can I do it? Of course I can. My MLS extends over there. Stellar MLS is in, I think, 43 counties now. Can I do it? Of course I can. Can I do it well? No. I haven't been to Daytona Beach in about 10 years. That was a spring break we don't talk about. But what is it that's going to allow me to be amazing? Working areas where I can be the professional. Where when they have questions, I can answer it without having to rely on the Google. And yes, I said the Google. What is it that allows you to be successful? 3 out of 4 people want local knowledge. They want you to know which pizza place is the best one to go eat at. Where are the churches? Where are the dog parks? How far is it to the beach? How far is it to the airport? These are the kinds of things that people can't necessarily get from Zillow or Realtor or Homes.com or KW.com. This is where your local knowledge will set you apart. But that means that you have to come to terms with the fact that you can't be a jack of all trades. You can't work every neighborhood from Citrus County to Sarasota. You can't do it because that is not local knowledge. And if you can't offer what 3 out of 4 people looked for, why are they going to choose you? The short answer is they won't. But it's totally contradictory to think that there is business out there that I should not go after. But let's look at it a different way. Let's say that I focus on Pasco County or Hernando County or Hillsborough County. Okay? How big is Hillsborough County? Goes all the way from Plant City, Citrus Park, West Chase, South Tampa, Davis Island. These are huge expanses of area. I can't know all of it. I can't have local knowledge even within the entire county. So what do? Focus on an area and become knowledgeable. Invest the time. Become very good at what you do. Because if you can provide that local knowledge, those buyers now have a reason to be loyal to you. And loyalty is key when it comes to working with buyers. When you lock down a seller in a listing agreement, they're going to be loyal to you because they don't have a choice. You are the only one who's allowed to put their sign in the yard. But when it comes to buyers, can they walk into an open house? Yep. Can they call up a listing agent from the sign in the yard? Yep. Do they have to be loyal to you? Oh. So how do you get them to remain loyal? Well, you have to be the expert. And having that local knowledge is what makes you the expert. Now, like I said, buyers don't need a real estate agent to search for homes in the MLS. They don't need you for that. Price, minimum, maximum. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How many square feet? They can even set how old they want the home to be, the type of home they want, the listing type that they want to see. They can do all of this without you. You need to create loyalty. Buyers need real estate professionals for a handful of things. To open the door, to understand the contract and help them understand the contract, to use skills, data, and knowledge to negotiate the most favorable terms for them, to provide them with guidance to obtain those services like inspectors, plumbers, electricians, roofers, insurance people, and to have comfort that they have somebody that is in their corner looking out for them. Those are the 5 things that as a real estate agent, a buyer needs you for. How many of us are really good at all 5 of those things? How many agents have you guys met that are very good at all 5 of those things? I would venture a wager that says not a ton. Why? Because in order to understand those legal documents, I've got to take time. I've got to attend classes. I've got to become a master of my craft. If you're doing 1 deal a year, do you think you're going to be a master at understanding the documents? Now, if you're only closing 1 deal a year, I'm not saying this to knock on you, but I'm saying that the ones that are truly successful, the ones that you would call amazing, those are the ones who do these 5 things extremely well. If I were to go into my phone right now, you could pretty much ask me, hey, and actually this happened the other day. Somebody goes, hey, can you send me somebody who does septic inspections? Actually, I can. Went in, used keyword septic in my phone, sent it right to them. Because over the years, when I've had companies that do a good job, they get saved in my phone. Now, if they do a crap job, they don't get saved. I've got a couple of appraisers. I've got insurance people. I have electricians. I have plumbers. I have roofers. Because it is my job to know who those professionals are. That's my job. That's why buyers choose me. Because I take the time to understand what it means to truly be effective at my craft. So that fifth part comes in because they have the comfort to know that I know what's coming next. I know what's coming next. I'm prepared for it. I can show them the homes. I can open the door. But guys, anybody can open a door. That's easy. It's the next four that really come into play here. So I want you guys to think about that. When you are working to become a phenomenal buyer's agent, what does it take? Are you doing the things that it takes to be an amazing buyer's agent? And if not, how do you start? Well, you're in the right place. You're watching this class. This is what it takes. So buyers commit to real estate professionals that help them find the perfect home using criteria that's not available on a home search website. So what does that mean? Well, what are things in real estate that you can't find on Google or Zillow or anything else? Proximity to good pizza places, proximity to things that matter to them, ball fields, dog parks, the water, the golf course, the bowling alley. Not that we can do that right now with COVID, but what are the things that matter to them, and how can you help them find the home that's going to work for them? So let me give you guys another example. What if they have young children? And so they're looking for a neighborhood that also has other young families. Now we have to be careful because we can't steer them to or away from certain neighborhoods or things like that. But in the areas that I work, I know which neighborhoods have young families and different things like that. Conversely, maybe I have an older couple that specifically says, I really want to stay away from those neighborhoods that have a lot of young families. I'm just at that point in my life where I don't really want a bunch of kids riding their bikes down my driveway. Those are the kinds of things that you can't find on Zillow. You can't find on Realtor.com. Now they need an agent to help them. Agents can capture, and we're talking a little bit about internet leads as well, capture internet buyer leads by taking interest in the buyer and their desires. And this is true of any buyer, not just internet buyer leads. Take an interest in the buyer. So again, going back a few slides, agents believe they can get basic search criteria, plug it into the MLS, and start sending listings. And that's all it takes. But amazing agents take it a step farther. They ask the right questions. What are the right questions? Things like, tell me what it is about a home or about a neighborhood or about a community that would make it most desirable for you. What is it? What is it about the community? Oh, well, I love to go on nightly walks, so I need a community that has sidewalks. Okay, that's helpful information. I love taking my dog to a dog park, so I'd like to have one nearby. Okay, great. That's something that I can't necessarily search for on Zillow. These are the kinds of questions that we need to be asking these buyers because the majority of agents out there won't. Their questions are going to sound something like this. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? How many square feet? Do you need the backyard fenced in? Do you want a pool? Do you need a garage? That's it. That's all they ask. But guys, they can find all of that without you. What they can't find are those pieces of information that are going to make this the perfect home for them that they can't find online. So you got to know the answers to these questions. Is it a quiet area with sidewalks to walk my dog? Can I park my motorhome in the driveway? Well, there's another one. If it's in a deed restricted HOA community, chances are they're probably not going to be able to park their RV there. That might be a deal breaker for them. But you can't search that on Zillow. Is the water deep enough for a sailboat? Again, there's a lot of waterfront communities, but there's only a handful of them that have deep enough water canals for you to be able to get a sailboat into and out of. Do you guys know which communities those are? If you want to focus on waterfront properties, those are questions that you're going to need to know the answers to. What kid-friendly things are there to do? Does the community have a CDD? These are all things that you need to know in order to get that buyer to trust you. You're going to gain their trust by knowing the answers to the questions that other people don't know. Everybody knows 6 or 7 real estate agents. Why do they choose you? They choose you because you know the answers to these questions. Because you can provide them insight and information that the internet cannot provide. Guys, there's all this fear that Zillow and HomePath and iBuyer and all these other programs are going to replace real estate agents. I can tell you that it will never replace all real estate agents. Now, it may replace a lot of them, but those are the agents that are not doing this. They are not serving their customers. And honestly, the industry would be better off without them. And it's not a popular thing for me to say, but I would much rather see a 50 or 60% reduction in real estate agents in the state of Florida and replace them with those of you and those of us who are truly effective at our craft. The reputation of real estate right now is not great. And you guys know this. We've talked about it before. How does it get better? By getting rid of the garbage agents. And luckily, we don't have garbage agents at Florida Luxury Realty because we train you guys. We give you the training and knowledge and education that you need to really be effective. And thankfully, most of you guys take full advantage of it. And I can't tell you how happy it makes me that you guys dedicate an hour or 2 of your time to show up for classes like this. Because the only way that this industry gets better is for those agents like you who are watching this video, who are attending my classes live, and who are investing enough to be better. That's how we change real estate. And that's how you become an amazing buyer's agent. So how do you convert more leads to close sales? Well, you've got to instantly respond and be available at all times. Yes, I just said that. Be available at all times. It sucks. But especially if you guys are working internet leads, you've got to answer immediately. Because in this day and age, instant gratification. If you don't answer my call, I'm going to turn around and call the next one. And by the time you get back to me 5 minutes later, I've already called 3 other agents. Your opportunity is gone. You have to be ultra aggressive at contacting and connecting with them. So what does that mean? Most agents, when a lead comes in, they're going to call, they're going to text, they might email. The next day, they might do it again. If I don't get an answer by the next day, I'm done. You must not be serious. Do you guys have any idea how many touches it takes before the average person responds? 17. It takes, on average, 17 touches before a person responds. So call, text, email the next day. I'm at 6. I'm 11 touches away from this person responding to me. And that's where most agents give up. Now you have to engage with extreme enthusiasm. What does that mean? Hi, this is Greg with Florida Luxury Realty. How can I help you? Is that going to make somebody want to work with me? If you sound like Eeyore, thanks so much. I'm sorry I missed you, but no, nobody wants to work with Eeyore. They want to work with the Tiggers, the ones that are bouncing, the ones that are excited to help them find their home. Because this is a stressful thing. Somebody buying a home, this is the largest purchase that most people will ever make in their lifetime. They want somebody that's going to be in their corner. It's going to be excited to help them. Don't be Eeyore. Because that's not the top agents. You've got to be enthusiastic in your desire to help them. And then you've got to immediately provide the information that they request. Unfortunately, this let me get back to my computer and I'll get it to you in a day or so doesn't happen. If an hour passes and I don't have what I need, I'm going to call the next person. That's just the way it is. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but if you guys want to be effective at working with buyers, you have to understand what that really means for you. You have to understand that in order to truly be effective, this has to be your world. You have to connect through emphasizing your deep knowledge. Be the professional. I harp on this all the time. You need to ask those questions outside of that basic search criteria. Go the extra step. Because it's not enough to know 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage in Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County is a lot of real estate to cover. I need more than that. Get them using your search portal and away from the others. Get them off of Zillow. Because every listing that pops up on Zillow, what do they see on the right-hand side? 4 other agents that they can call. When they use my Florida Luxury app, what do they get for every single listing they look at? My face, my phone number. It's the only option they get. No matter what property in the state of Florida that they look at, when they go call, who is it going to call? Me. I create loyalty because every listing on Zillow is going to pop up on my Florida Luxury app. So get them to use it. Use the tools that you have to leverage that relationship, to leverage that loyalty, to get them wanting to work with you. The sooner you can do that, the better off you'll be. And then the last one is use video communication to consult with out-of-area leads. Guys, right now with COVID, sorry. With COVID, people are very, very nervous about meeting in person. So more and more, we're able to leverage FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, all these other platforms, Google Hangouts, to be able to do video chats with these buyers, to virtually walk them through the home from the safety of their living room. It's happening more and more. And it's why I tell you guys that you should be getting video walkthroughs of your homes, because it gives buyers an opportunity to be able to see what that property looks like in more than just photos. Photos can be deceptive, but when you walk through with a video and they can physically see what is in that room, that makes it more real. It allows you to capitalize on the opportunity to work with these buyers through video chat. And I can hear you guys now. I don't like myself on video. Get over it. Get over it. Because at the end of the day, truly amazing buyer's agents are using video voicemail. They're using video walkthroughs. They are using video marketing. This is what it takes to be effective. So being an amazing buyer's agent means doing what other people are not willing to do. Are you willing to become an amazing buyer's agent, or are you going to do what the rest of the masses do? This is part of your unique value proposition. I understand that there's a lot of concern for you, Mr. Buyer, Mrs. Buyer, to go look at these properties in person. So what if I were to go in there with a mask and gloves and I were to do a video walkthrough for you? I will assume that risk for you so that you can see this home. How does that sound? Sounds like something an amazing agent would do. Always start with the why. Why are they buying a home? Why are they making a change? Identify what's going to be those unique values in choosing their home. Our family is growing. Our family is shrinking. I got a new job. We're moving up. We're moving down. We're retiring. What is their why? If you can get to their why, you now know the perfect home for them. You can help them find that perfect home. If you don't know their why, then you're fishing without bait. You're just throwing a hook in the water and hoping that something accidentally bites it. You have no bait. It's just shooting in the dark and hoping for the best. When you understand the why, you now have the bait that attracts that buyer to the home that you need to sell them. Provide them with insight and values that they can't get from the internet, and we've harped on this. The who, the when, the where, the what, and then the how. Who are your buyers? Is it one person? Is it two people? Is it three people? Who are the decision makers? When are they making their purchase? Oh, we're in a lease for another 7 months. Awesome. Am I going to jump in the car to show them property today? Nope. Because they're not going to buy for 7 months. Where should they be looking? Where do they work? Where do they go to church? Where do the kids go to school? Where are their hobbies? Where are friends and family? All of these things become a piece of the puzzle that most agents never ask for. They just send them a ton of properties and let the buyer figure it out. But guys, sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. Effective buyer's agents don't guess. They know. They know the answers to these questions. What are their desires and what is their criteria? What are they looking for? And then lastly, how are they able to make the purchase? Are they paying cash? Are they getting a loan? Are they borrowing money from family? How? The who, the when, the where, and the what all focus on conversations that involve positive emotions. Who are your decision makers? Oh, my wife and I are buying a house. Awesome. When? Oh, something is changing that's causing us to do it in 3 months. Where do you want to go? This is something that they tend to be excited about. So steer the conversation toward those positive things, the things that they are excited about. Get them excited and share in their excitement. Share in it. It's important that you spend enough time on the who, where, when, and what to create that trust. Because next comes the how. You earn the opportunity by sharing your local knowledge, by building that trust to ensure that loyalty. The National Association of Realtors back in, I think it was 2016 or 17, did a study. And they said, what was the most important thing for you when working with your realtor? And half of them said trust. 3 out of 4 buyers agents, or 3 out of 4 buyers want an agent with local knowledge. And 50% of them said they have to be able to trust their agent. Why? Because this is the biggest purchase that they're ever going to make in their lifetime. Do I want somebody that I can't trust helping me with that process? I don't. Would you? Now, honestly, I'm surprised that only 50% said that. I really would have expected that it was higher than that. But 50% expect trust. Know you, like you, trust you. So how do we define trust for the purposes of this? Because trust means a million different things in a million different scenarios. Trust is when I'm standing on a picnic table about to fall backwards that my coworkers are going to catch me, right? That's trust. But in real estate, it's different. Trust is that real estate buyer standing at the edge of the cliff, knowing that they're about to commit the next 30 years of payments to whatever home they buy today. So it's having the confidence that you, as their parachute, are going to have the skills and knowledge to find and lead them to the perfect home, that you're going to be available, you're going to be reachable, and you're going to have good communication skills. Now, what does good communication mean for that buyer? It means that you're going to communicate with them in the way that they desire to be communicated with. If they want you to pick up the phone and call them, pick up the phone and call them. If they prefer to text, text them. But an amazing agent is one who communicates with their customers regularly and who communicates effectively. And you need to understand what that means. You need to be a strong negotiator. A couple of weeks ago, I did an entire class on the skill of negotiation. And if you haven't watched that, I would encourage you to go back into Ask Luxie or go back into the Florida Luxury YouTube channel and find that class. Because you need to be able to show them that you are in their corner and you're going to fight to get them the best deal possible. Now, in today's market, there's not a lot of negotiation going on. If I put a listing out there, I'm going to have 7, 8, 9, 15 people that submit offers in the first 2 or 3 days. There's not a lot of negotiation going on. There's a lot of bring me your best offer and I'll let the seller choose which one they want. Being knowledgeable and assisting and protecting them through the process of buying. Now, in this market, we're going to talk about what strong negotiation looks like. So give me a couple more slides and we're going to get back to that. But understand that the how, we talked about the who, where, when, why, but the how can be either positive or negative depending on the buyer's ability or challenges to get the home that they want. I'm approved for $200,000. and I want a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house with a pool. That's stressful. Because that home may or may not exist in the area where they want to live. But that's all they can get approved for. How is stressful. But when they trust you, you now have the keys to the car. You get to drive. So you get to show them the one home that fits that criteria. You have that conversation right up front that says, listen, we're gonna have to change expectations here a little bit. I know you want that in the heart of South Tampa, but would you be willing to drive a little bit? I know you want a brand new 5-bedroom home, but what if I could find you one that was maybe 20 or 30 years old, but recently renovated? Would that work? Being the professional means knowing when to set those expectations and how to set those expectations. Because if I have a buyer that comes to me and goes, I want a brand new house for $200,000 on the 54 corridor, guys, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. New homes are in the mid to high 2s and up on that corridor. But what if you were willing to come north a little bit? If you were willing to come to Hudson or Spring Hill, absolutely, I can get you into a new home for $200,000. But we've got to know that local knowledge to be able to steer them to meet their goals. If I'm a Sarasota agent and I've got somebody asking about properties in Spring Hill, do you think I'm gonna know? No, how could I? That's what it takes to be an amazing buyer's agent. So you have to share the order of the steps in this process, as well as setting those expectations for finding and buying the home. Guys, educate your customers about what this process looks like. They don't know. They don't know. So an amazing buyer's agent's going to say, okay, I know that when we submit the offer, you're going to have to put some money into escrow. You're going to have to pay for an inspection. You're going to have to pay for an appraisal. You may have to pay for a survey. You may have to do this or do that or do this or do that. Set those expectations up front. Let them know what's coming next. Because an effective buyer's agent sets those expectations right out of the gate. I don't want my buyer to be blindsided. I want them to know what's going to happen. So if they need to sell their home first, then they need to get that home on the market and under contract with a buyer before we start getting too far into a process of writing offers on other homes. If they haven't been to a lender, they need to go get a reputable lender and get pre-approved. This is the process. I'm not going to give a lot of time to a buyer that's not willing to talk to a lender. Just not. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to agree to show you a property. You're going to fall in love with it. And then you call the lender, and it takes the lender a day or two to get all your paperwork, get your pre-approval done. But guess what? In the 2 days that you've been lollygagging around, that home that you fell in love with just got 9 offers. It's gone. Now, have I provided a service to you by letting you miss out on your dream home? No. Because every home we look at from now on, you're going to compare to that dream home that's gone. Nothing will ever be as good. So this is why I'm going to push you as a buyer to get your pre-approval. So that when we walk into that dream home, I can sit and write up the offer right from the living room or from my car in the driveway. I'm positioning you for success. I am the expert. This is what I do. I'm very, very good at what I do. So I need you to trust me, know me, like me, trust me. I need you to trust me when I tell you that it is vitally important that you get pre-approved from a lender before we go look at homes. Trust me. I am looking out for your best interest. I am an amazing buyer's agent. I know what it takes for you to meet your goals, and I need you to trust me. If you've earned their trust, they will follow your guidance. It's as simple as that. If they don't trust you, they're not going to follow your advice or your request. Know you, like you, trust you. In order to be an amazing buyer's agent, it's all about having clearly defined strategy plan and having the right tools for the job. So when a buyer lead comes in, whether it's an internet lead or somebody who found your website or found you on social media or whatever it is, however they found you, when should I make contact? How should I make contact? And what is an effective script? So let's talk about that for a second. When should I make contact? Right now. They say that you have no more than 5 minutes. And guys, in reality right now, it's 2. You have 2 minutes to respond to that person. 2 minutes. Or else they're going to go call the next one. You have to answer immediately. How do I make contact with them? In every way possible. A phone call, followed by a text message, followed by an email. Because again, 17 touches before you're going to be able to get them to answer you. The fortune is in the follow-up. You must speak to them in order to convert them. Now, there's some argument, and I'll chase this rabbit here for just a second. There are some people out there that say you can convert somebody through a text message. I vehemently disagree. You will not get someone to trust you through a text message. It's too impersonal. Emails, even less so. How do you do it? You have to follow up. You have to talk to them. Because that's what it takes to truly convert them to loyalty to you. So, how often should I try to contact a lead? On day 1 or right when the lead comes in? Call them, text them, email them, see if you can find them on Facebook, whatever it is. Hi, John, yesterday you sent me a message, or I just got your message a few minutes ago. I'm following up to make sure you received the information you requested. I'm here to help you answer any questions, schedule a showing, get you into your dream home, give me a call. Then again that night, I help my clients to buy the right home at the right price for the right terms and the right time frame. I'd be honored to help you do the same. Give me a call. Use video. Now this is a link, but for some reason when I do it from here, the audio doesn't play and it's not really effective without the audio. But this is a video that Scott put together just with his phone recording himself, where he says, hey, I'm Scott Barrett with Florida Luxury Realty. I got your inquiry and I just wanted to take a second and introduce myself. I'd love the opportunity to be able to help you find your dream home. Give me a call when you have a second. That's it. It's not difficult. Be comfortable in front of the camera. Make these videos personalized. Hey, John, thank you so much for your inquiry. I didn't say, hi, customer. Hi, generic recipient of this message. No. Hey, John, thanks so much for calling me. I'm so sorry I missed you. Thank you for your internet inquiry. Thank you for whatever it is. Because when they can see your face, they can now connect with you. you have become a person, not a phone number or not an email address. There is so much value in video, and very few people take advantage of it. Amazing buyer's agents take advantage of it. Day 2, call, text, email. Hi, John, are you still interested in buying or selling that home? So sorry, I didn't sleep well. Again, that evening, call again and add them to your property drip. Now, this is where most people stop. And this is where most people fail. You've got to speak to them to convert them. So then day 3, call or text every 3 to 5 days until they respond. After day 28, call them about once a month until they either respond to you or die. So it's either buy or die. That's it. Those are the only 2 ways I'm going to stop reaching out to you. Add them to your email list and a Facebook custom audience. Do whatever it takes to connect with them. So when you finally talk to them and they go, stop calling me, you respond with, thank you so much for getting back to me. I just pride myself on being the most focused on following up because I know that buying or selling a home can be an emotional process. It can be challenging. And I pride myself on helping as many people as I can. One of the things that I do extremely well is follow up aggressively. When the clients hire me to find them a home or get their home sold, boy, do they appreciate how determined I am. So I'm sorry if I overcalled or emailed you, but let me just ask you before you go, are you still thinking of buying or selling a home this year? Buy or die. This person's not dead yet. Don't take no for an answer. Let them see that you are going to fight for them. That even before they are locked in as your customer, you are fighting to do what they are asking you to do. So let me ask you before you go, you still looking to buy or sell? Why not? If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And guys, we have scripts in the back office for this. Hi, this is Greg with Florida Luxury Realty. You were recently on my website, and I just wanted to thank you for registering. I got your request about getting a great deal on a property in Citrus Park. How long have you been looking for a home? What sites do you visit the most to go look at properties? Awesome. What is your price range? Terrific. I'm just curious, are you currently renting or do you own your home? Are you living with relatives? Do you need to sell something before you buy? Okay, great. If they're renting, are you month to month or are you locked into a lease? When does your lease expire? Have you already spoken with a lender to get pre-approved? Okay, cool. Tell me about it. Okay, John, we focus on 4 things with every client. Helping them identify the right home for the right price, with the right terms, in the right time. Is that something you'd be interested in hearing more about? Great. When would be the best time for us to meet? Would Tuesday at 2 or Thursday at 10 be better for you? Do you guys have any questions so far? Go ahead and pop them into chat if you do. So then, how do we win with multiple offers? And if you guys have questions, feel free to still pop them in the chat. I can answer it when it pops up. But let's talk about the current market that we're in. So we're in kind of a unique dynamic because we're at the time of filming in a world of COVID where people are really nervous about going into homes, but properties are selling faster than I've seen just about any time in my 8 years in the market. So it's really interesting to see how this works. And then Marissa and Rob said, where can we find how to share our app properly? I can actually go through that. I don't know how well it'll pop up on camera, but I can show you quickly. When you open the Florida Luxury Realty app, so let me see how well this pops up. So it's loading. When you come in here, you go up to the top where these 3 lines are, And there's a button right here that says Share App. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but when you click Share App, it pops up and it says, how do you want to share it? Let me see if I can get the camera to refocus here. Your options are text, email, Facebook, or Twitter. So you can actually go in and share your app right from there. And that way you just send it to them based on whatever information you have for them. That's a great question. So now how we win with multiple offers. So right now we have tons of people placing offers that, multiple offers on properties right out of the gate. So when we're working with buyers, how do we win? Well, understand that price is not the only negotiation tool that we have. It's a big one, but it's not the only one. Closing date, inspection period, loan commitment time, home warranty, closing cost assistance, escrow amount. These are all things that we can use as an item of negotiation. So for example, I'm working with a lender who sends the buyers into preliminary underwriting before we ever write an offer on a house. This lender has actually had a clear to close on an FHA buyer in 22 days. It can be done. So what that does is now I have an opportunity to be able to get my buyer through underwriting right at the beginning, get all those conditions cleared so that by the time we write the offer on the home, all we have to do is inspections, appraisals, survey, and the title search. Those things can be done in 3 weeks. So now I can come in and let's assume that my sales price is the same, but I'm willing to do a 7-day inspection period instead of 15. I'm willing to do a 21-day loan commitment. I'm willing to waive a home warranty or not ask for closing costs or put more money into escrow, whatever it is. All of these things are things that I can do to sweeten this deal for the seller. Because me being an amazing buyer's agent, I know that I can have all of this done. All of these areas become pieces of negotiation. Talk to your lender, see if you can do shorter closing or shorter loan commitment. Set your buyer up. Okay, thank you. All right, so let me go back and do that again because I was just talking and apparently my thing went to mute. So build rapport with the listing agent. Sometimes identical offers are received that the seller has to choose between. The sales price is the same. The closing date's approximately the same. The terms are more or less the same. Attach a short letter, either from you or from the buyer, explaining why your buyer wants that property. My buyer really loves this neighborhood. Their parents live 3 blocks over, and they really love the idea of being able to live around the corner from their parents. This house is exactly perfect for them. Include that letter with your offer because it may help if all other things are the same, or even if your offer is not quite as good as others, but you can tell them why you want that property. Sometimes that can really help with the decision-making process to help the seller choose your offer. It's something that not a lot of agents do, but it is a very effective strategy. At the same time, make sure your documents are correct and complete. So if I have an offer, 2 offers that are basically the same, but one of them has a bunch of errors or, is not properly filled out, isn't done completely, versus another one that is done exactly right, I'm going to trust that the agent that filled out their paperwork right is probably going to be a better agent to work with. So if all offers are the same, I kind of want to work with this agent instead. Have a conversation. Get the other agent to like you, because that's what's going to set you apart when it comes to whether or not the deal gets accepted. Play nice in the sandbox. This is what I always say, be nice. Because understand that there's stress on both sides of the deal. So don't underestimate the value of simply being nice to the other agent. Sometimes it really is as simple as that to determine whether your offer gets accepted versus somebody else's. Just play nice. So that's what I have for you guys. I'm sorry for the little technical glitch there in the middle. But this is what it takes to really set you up and get you to be effective as a buyer's agent. It's just going a little bit above and beyond, doing the things that other agents are not willing to do, putting in the work that other agents are not willing to put in, so that you guys can be in a position to do better. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's not overcomplicated. It's not, super difficult to do. But that's what it takes. And there are a lot of agents out there that are not willing to do what it takes to be effective. They're not willing to do what it really requires to be effective as an agent. But you guys are the exception, because you're willing to do the things that are required to be amazing. And that's why I love you guys, and I appreciate that you're here. So as we go through, we've got some more good classes coming up. As always, if you have any questions or there's anything I can do for you, feel free to reach out. In the meantime, make it a great week, and I will talk to you guys soon. See ya.